Welcome to Anchors and Eagles, guys. This is Adam Facenda, your host of this show. That's right, episode 34. Wow, crazy. I can't believe it's been 34 episodes so far. That's just of the season. Some of you guys might have caught the very first beginning parts of Anchors and Eagles, which was all based about tattooing and stuff like that. And that was the thing in the beginning. That's what I was trying to do, is be more mindful about tattooing. That's where Anchors and Eagles all came from. But that's not where we're at now. And before we get started, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share this as much as possible. I appreciate it. Every day we get a new follower or subscriber, and it's just amazing. Follow us on TikTok, and you can DM us on Instagram or TikTok if you have any kind of information or anything you want to share with us, or if you just want to be a co-host or be interviewed here on the podcast. Feel free to reach out. But first off, I want to thank you most of all.
In a world where truth lies between shadows and light, where anchors hold you down and eagles dare to rise above, we dive into the untold stories that shape us all. Sit tight, listen close. This is Anchors and Eagles with your host, Adam Facenda. The views and discussions in this podcast are for entertainment purposes only.
All right, let's get this party started. Geronimo and Jolie aren't with us right now. Hopefully they'll be back next week or the following one. We're going to start doing live podcasts soon. I'm really excited about that. So are they. We got to meet over the past week. Their life is still lifing. They're getting through some stuff. And shortly, maybe they'll update us on what had happened. But most of all, please keep sending prayers to Jolie and Geronimo. Today's episode is not really going to be much about the war, but there are some really weird things going on. I think all of this is biblical. In my mind, I think all this is biblical. That's where I'm at, especially this being the Holy Week for Christians. We had Palm Sunday, we're going to have Good Friday, and then we have Easter. And I never understood why my parents loved Easter so much, but now I do. So enough of that. Let's get into some of these videos I want to share with you today. I have a few videos to share. I'm sorry if you're listening to this podcast. I will try to describe what's going on as best as possible. It's just me, guys. So please bear with me. The first video I'm going to show you is lights in the sky. I don't know if you guys have caught any of this. So this isn't comments that I was talking comets. This is in the comments I was talking about last week that they've been seen all over the United States. This is literally lights in the sky. I don't know. My imagination goes all over the place. I'm going to play the first video, and from there we'll move on. All right, so this is the first video I want to show you guys. This is pretty amazing. If you're listening, it's basically right now, it seems like two red orbs in the sky in the clouds. And I don't know if you guys have heard or seen some of the stuff that's been on Instagram and some of TikTok, but Australia had this crazy red sky, and this is literally the same color red. But they say it's due to tornadoes or something like that. It's the way the sky gets. But then I saw somewhere, and I think it was India, the same similar sky. This sky is dark, and there's two red orbs up in it. And let's go ahead and just sample this. This was, when I say some are saying there's a war, a galactical war, and that's what's going on. I've read some things about that. Maybe it was just in comments, but check it out. Like, what is that? It seems like some of this has been clipped together, but as someone that's just listening, it's literally these red fireballs that are dancing all over the sky. It looks like a very cloudy sky. I mean, maybe it's like lightning above the clouds itself. I've heard that is a cause of what this is. So I guess above the clouds, there's a whole nother atmosphere, and this is like the bottom side of lightning. This is what I heard, but it's pretty crazy. I want to believe that. I mean, it sounds like a simple explanation to what I'm watching right now, because I'm a dummy, right? I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. All I know is that there is some crazy fireballs going off in the sky, dancing around, and it almost looks, if you were a child, you would think it would be a battle, you know? Maybe it's a battle of angels, who knows? But some have said, like I said in comments, that this is a galactic war that's going on and we're witnessing it from below. Now, here's another video that I thought was pretty interesting. Same color. You guys are going to check it out and I'll describe it afterwards. Wait a minute. Let's rewind this here real quick. I'm going to check out these buildings here. No, it looks like the rooftops are the same. The landscape definitely looks different. All right, so check this out. This says case 050 red flame pulses. Red flame pulses. I've never even heard of such a thing. But yeah, let's check it out. Like, if this is real, what in the world is this? Like, nothing's catching on fire. It's just these red fireballs. I don't know. This could be AI. Who knows? I don't know. But it's fascinating. I just saw a blip of something. What did I just see? Did you guys just catch that as well? It comes right there. Oh, it's lightning in the background. See, this video here, it could have been sped up. I don't know. I mean, that looks like a missile. I don't know. I could watch this over and over again. So I thought this was pretty fascinating that this week this came out and you're seeing all this stuff everywhere, like all this crazy, crazy stuff where fires in the sky. We're watching, you know, I said I wasn't going to talk about the war, but the war is going on and we're watching real rockets in real time. So this doesn't look like rockets. This looks like some atmospheric weird stuff going on that makes no sense. Or has there been a wormhole opened up? Are we seeing maybe like we're breaching the veil right now of different dimensions? Maybe this is a war that's going on in another dimension and we're seeing it because it's so crazy. I don't know. I'm getting real weird on this one, guys. So please stick with me. I feel like there's a new tone out, right? They're buttering us up for aliens. I think that's what's going on because of the other stuff that came out this week. Steven Greer. I woke up this morning and I saw a video with Steven Greer. If you don't know who that is, he's like one of the top guys that talks about aliens. And he's been around forever. He says he can communicate with them. He takes people on tours to see them. I personally think he might be part reptilian because the way he looks. I commented on that before. I don't know if it was with you guys because I did have a chance this week, like I said before, to meet with Jolie and Geronimo, and we got to go over some stuff. And man, what we talked about for the 2 hours of just sitting at a table at Quarterdeck was probably would have been one of the best podcasts we ever had. So I can't wait to have him on our back and get some of these lives because we in real life we actually argue a lot about certain things, and I tend to edit some of it out because it gets too heated, and I don't want you guys to think that is how we are and that we're so combative, because we're not. We both come from an era of listening and hearing each other out and then digesting what we heard in a debate. And maybe if that's what you guys want to hear, maybe just give me a comment, drop a comment below, or just, tell me you don't want to see that stuff. I don't know. It's pretty funny when we do argue because I sometimes you'll see how I react to people. Sometimes I just shut down and I let them talk. And most of the times, I'm trying to listen, and then sometimes you'll see in my face that I'm just like egging them on, and I do this Geronimo often, so it's pretty entertaining. So if you're listening to this podcast, please check it out on YouTube sometime. But the next thing I wanted to talk about, let's get back on track here. Steven Greer says there's a false flag that's going to happen, that there's going to be a hoax of an alien attack. Now, the two videos I just showed you look like aliens are fighting in the sky. That's my take. Something's fighting in the sky. Are they angels? What are they? Are these... Now, some people think when I say, or you might think when I say angels, I'm talking about guys with wings and swords and stuff. But this is biblical, right? A lot of descriptions. There's the, like, Moses and the burning bush. It's a red flame. The bush doesn't burn. Or was this an angel standing behind the bush or in front of the bush? I don't know. It's beyond anyone could think of, right? It's the burning bush is probably the hardest one for me to understand or wrap my mind around. But then, through the Bible, you hear, I think one more time, is something about something burning but doesn't catch on fire. And then I can go on and on, but let's get back on track. So is this a false flag? Is this a psyop? Those two videos, were they a psyop? Who knows, right? But check out what Steven Greer has to say. I'm going to share this right now.
The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone. So we're trying to expose that. But see, if this festers much longer with that group that have the technologies I'm talking about, in a minute, they could stage this and it would fool. Well, it had. I mean, look at what they've been doing for decades, fooling everyone. Everyone's saying, oh, those are alien events. And, our military guys chasing these objects thinks those are military, right? But they're not. I mean, or alien, they're military or covert aerospace programs. So the ability to hoax an attack on our planet is real. And
what would be the goal in them doing that, staging a really false alien attack on the entire world? What would they accomplish?
They want to unite the world around a military junta, a totalitarian system. And how do you do that? How do you get one race or one ethnicity or one nation to stop fighting with each other? You create a bigger problem up there, and it unites everyone against a common enemy. But in that uniting of the world in war instead of peace, they can then exert all manner of totalitarian controls. That has been a 70-year plan. I have a CIA document from 1953 or 54 stating that they can use the UFO issue to great advantage for its, quote, psychological warfare value. So once they got close and mastered the technology in the mid-50s, and they knew they were close to that in 53, 54, then what has happened is that they've started a long-term program to brainwash the public that there's a threat out there. Now, the question is, will they brainwash President Trump and other people? We're providing the information we have, but there are some devils on these deep state operations around the president, giving him the opposite perspective. So this is getting into like, well, which of these narratives is it going to be the true narrative or the false flag narrative? And when you have someone like the president who's very busy, and you have to do a one-sheeter for him, and he's doing a million things a day, it's very easy for people who are in the system he trusts, who are actually foxes in the hen house, who are bad actors, for him to take their advice.
Whoa. So he's saying there's going to be a hoax. And it kind of makes sense what he's saying, right? Because like 9/11 for Americans, we all came together. We stopped arguing, stopped fighting. We bonded. It was about one goal, just being an American, us versus them. And Reagan once said, there's a video out there. It says, what if there was I forget it exactly. I might misquote this, but if there was an enemy from above attacking us, all the world would come together. And it's funny that Greer is saying that. I found that very unique. And then throughout the day, other things started popping up. And I know it's an algorithm. I get it. But why? It's almost too planned. This podcast was shot, I think, 2 days prior to today. Today's April Fool's Day. So happy April Fool's Day. And maybe today's the day of being a fool. Who knows? The next one I want to share for you guys. I'm just going to bang through these because I think we need to get to them all. Now, this is another podcast that I really, really enjoy. I don't know if you guys I've seen this guy before, but here's what's crazy. The next thing I'm going to line you up with, it says former CIA officer John Ramirez is a government involvement with human alien hybrids. This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. Matt Gaetz is going to, I have a video of Matt Gaetz talking about this too. And this hybrid thing has been talked about forever. And now it's like almost like everyone's, maybe it is the end of the world. And they're like, hey, we're just going to give them all this stuff and just make them happy before this world ends. But this is pretty interesting. It's 3 minutes long. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing for you guys. I might record it, give you my reaction, and then chop it down. But I'm going to give you as much as possible right now. Let's go ahead and just get into it.
Has there ever been a situation that you were in where you've gotten confirmation of government's involvement with human alien hybrids?
Yes.
Okay. From a credible source, you could say.
Yes.
They know about the hybrids.
Yes.
I mean, gun to your head right now, you would say absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
They were able to collect DNA from aliens.
John Ramirez, former CIA officer, 25-year career.
CIA had a program
to trace this alien DNA
in certain families, and particularly their children were of interest to CIA.
The CIA was tracking the activity of hybrids, human alien hybrids in the United States.
That, and going back in their lineage.
In that 25 years.
Did you encounter anyone you knew for sure was read into one of the deeper programs?
Yes.
Did you have a lot of interactions with this person?
Yes, I did.
My name was submitted for that particular compartment.
And the Pentagon came back and said, no, we're not going to reach John Ramirez into that. No way.
You specifically?
You specifically cannot be read in. He said, you don't understand, John. This program is the highest secret, top secret in the entire United States government. This top secret information exceeds that of Manhattan Project. His branch
did operations under the sea, retrieving things.
Bob, one of my engineers, was looking at one of the manuals. It's that thick. And he left it on his desk. The title was UFO Propulsion Systems, Manual of Operations.
We were flying something.
Has there ever been a situation that you were in where you've gotten confirmation of government's involvement with human alien hybrids?
Yes.
Okay. From a credible source, you could say.
Yes.
They know about the hybrids.
Yes.
I mean, gun to your head right now, you would say
left.
absolutely.
I don't know if you guys caught that.
Absolutely. Yes.
They were able to collect DNA from aliens.
John Ramirez, former CIA officer, 25-year career.
CIA had a program
to trace this alien DNA
in certain families, and particularly their children were of interest to CIA.
The CIA was tracking the activity of hybrids, human alien hybrids in the United States.
That, and going back in their lineage.
In that 25 years.
Did you encounter anyone you knew for sure was read into one of the deeper programs?
Yes.
Did you have a lot of interactions with this person?
Yes, I did.
My name was submitted for that particular compartment.
And the Pentagon came back and said, no, we're not going to reach John Ramirez into that. No way.
You specifically?
You specifically cannot be read in. He said, you don't understand, John. This program is the highest secret, top secret in the entire United States government. This top secret information exceeds that of Manhattan Project. His branch
did operations under the sea, retrieving things.
Bob, one of my engineers, was looking at one of the manuals. It's that thick. And he left that on his desk. The title was UFO Propulsion Systems, Manual of Operations.
We were flying something that wasn't a satellite.
What did it look like?
It looked like an egg. I personally had only one, I would call bad, but not demonic, experience. And that experience was with a reptilian-like being that showed up in my condo when I lived in Washington, D.C. And the other, I can't identify because it was shrouded. It was wearing a cloak.
A hood.
A hood, yeah, a cloak and a hood. And they showed up one night and they just, I woke up and they go,
"Oh, don't mind us. We just want to let you know that we know you moved."
And then I went to medical services.
I had something done here.
And can I get those records? And said, sorry.
Your medical records are classified. You cannot have them.
Okay.
Wait, they classified your own medical records?
Classify your own
real.
medical
Yeah.
records?
It's not a conspiracy theory, and hybrids are real. That's not a conspiracy theory.
So the podcast is Area 52. It's probably one of my favorite podcasts, but it's all long form, so it's hard to watch the whole thing at once. I'm usually so busy, but you guys have a chance, check it out. This is kind of weird. The leading guy in UAPs, I guess that's what you're calling it now, is saying that there's going to be a hoax. We just watched videos of something happening in the sky. It could be AI. It could be real. It's just, it's kind of like, it's almost too much. It's almost too good to be true, right? That's what they say. Too good to be true. Or is it true? I know this alien stuff has always fascinated me, guys. There's so much coming out so fast.
I think
who knows? Maybe they're going to use holograms, right? We've talked about this. I don't know if we've talked about this, but if you guys know about it, Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam is something my brother and I have talked about forever. It's basically, they can use the satellites and atmosphere, with HARP and everything to create holograms. And we thought it would be God coming from the clouds and, the Messiah speaking to us from the clouds. And now it's almost like they can do anything they want. I don't know if you guys ever caught that Tupac where it's like a show, and I think it's got Biggie and somebody else, or not Biggie, but it's got, I'm going to screw this up. It's got Tupac performing with Snoop Dogg, and the hologram looks like Tupac's there. And now we see all these things where there's a video and they can put you in a box and you can interact with people like a celebrity or something like that. And it literally looks like it's in front of them, but it's in a screen. It's almost a hologram because it's 3-dimensional. I don't think it's going to be a false flag. I don't know if it's Project Bluebeam. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Basically, all these satellites can just project whatever they want to project onto us. And even in the war right now, they're using AI and all these satellites just to find the people that they're trying to hit. It's, it's just so much. The world is unexplainable right now, in my mind. Like things that were sci-fi aren't sci-fi anymore. They're real life right now. These guys coming out and saying all this week, and we know tonight in about 30 minutes, the president's going to go on and have an address. Who knows what he's going to talk about? He's going to talk about aliens. He's going to talk about the war. He's going to talk about how great he is. Who knows? And also today, on April Fool's Day, we sent a rocket to the moon again for the first time in ever. And they keep saying that humans on the moon for the very first time. So actually they're telling us to our faces now that this is the first time we're going to be up there. I don't know. I'm not a flat earther. I don't really believe the moon thing. you'd have to prove it to me. I guess I got to go there and check it out myself. But the next video I have for you guys is Matt Gaetz. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Matt Gaetz is, but he was I think he was a senator here in Florida for a while. And he was running for Speaker of the House. I think they were trying to, and the party just destroyed him, threw him under the bus with allegations of him being with underage girls at some point, or allegedly there was hookers or something to that effect. But meanwhile, we now know that Congress doesn't want any bill to be passed to attack any of the congressmen that might have had sexual harassment on women. That was something that just happened about a month ago. It's just so toxic, so bad. But anyway, this is Matt Gaetz. I don't know why he's appeared out of nowhere 1 year later, but this is what we're getting with Matt Gaetz.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were enforced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted.
So now it's the humans forcing aliens to procreate with humans. This is great. I mean, before we thought it was the other way around. It makes much more sense this way. Come on, Matt.
From war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics?
That was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee, which I joined, and the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just the hard materials, it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
What in the world are we talking about? Now we're talking about, oh man, this is like we all went to sleep in 2020 and woke up to this weird world. I also have a theory that in 2012, when the world was supposed to end, the Mayan calendar, that whole thing, I think it did. I think not only did it end, but a new world came into play. Like we all were eliminated and we all just got planted right back into our same bodies, or maybe we flipped dimensions or something. There was another thing. There was like this, it's a new generation. It's going to be a generation of knowledge. This might be too much knowledge, guys. I just saw something on X or something like that they're even feeding into the fact that there is alien DNA in humans. That's funny because when I did 23andMe, I didn't see alien in there. I did see Neanderthal, so that's pretty cool. Now I know why I used to get so angry as a young man. and I drag my knuckles all the time. But man, I wish Geronimo was here to talk about this one. This is crazy. And on top of that, I'm going to drop a little trailer that I saw when I went to go see the other movie I talked about last week. Last week was the Hail Mary. And I talked about a couple other movies. Now, this one is kind of in line with everything that's on. So the name of the movie is Disclosure Day. And it is written by a really amazing writer. This man has written some bangers here. I'll just give you some of the ones that I truly loved. I Come in Peace, which was in the 90s. It was kind of a terribly great movie. The concept of it was amazing. He also is the writer of Jurassic Park, Death Becomes Her, Mission Impossible, Snake Eyes, which, hello guys, Snake Eyes. We know. You guys know. Come on, you guys know. Snake Eyes, amazing movie, which is kind of weird because we talked about in the past podcast about how the Charlie Kirk thing and Snake Eyes there's some things that are very similar to that. Very similar. That's odd. Jurassic Park. Aren't we trying to also bring back the mammoth and some other prehistoric animals? I did some background research on this gentleman. What's his name? I should give him some props. David Cope. Yeah. He wrote both Jurassic Parks, Snake Eyes, Stereo of Echoes, another banger. Whoa, I didn't even catch this earlier. In 2005, he did the War of the Worlds. And that's what's reminding me of some of these lightning storms and stuff that's going on. There was a lightning storm in Dubai that was insane. It could be straight out of War of the Worlds. Insane. He also was a writer of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Did not know. Ghost Town, which is one of my favorites. And he's a screenwriter. Some of these are books that he has turned into movies. So yeah, he's a screenwriter, right? And then this year he's doing one that's called Cold Storage. Now, Cold Storage is from what I got from the trailer, is a movie that there is some sort of bio alien thing that's been on ice, and some of the security guards tamper with it, and next thing you know, everything's gotten out of control, and Liam Neeson needs to come and, do what he does, kick butt, So that's one, but this is Disclosure Day. And then we've been talking about Disclosure, which will just flash back to Greer. Greer has been pushing disclosure of aliens forever. And he said, this is the year, this is the year, this is the year, but this might be the year. Okay, and now here's the official trailer of Disclosure Day. Let's enjoy this together, guys.
What did you steal?
Secrets. The data they paid me to.
Let's just start there. Did you hear what he said? Or she said? What did you steal? He said secrets. Like there's all these CIA people, all these ex-CIA people out there saying, I'm going to just leak some stuff. Like, here's the greatest psyop ever. Let me rewind that so you guys can all hear that together, because I thought it was an amazing way to start the movie or the trailer.
What did you steal?
Secrets. The data they paid me to protect.
Are they people?
No.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
Do you understand what she's saying?
I hear it. It's gibberish. I can't understand it.
And I can.
what's happening to me?
People are starved for the truth. I'm a part of it now. I'm just sorry they made you a part of it too.
Hello, Jane. Please.
What, a hologram?
Have a seat.
Come on, guys.
This 79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
What are you going to do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world. If you do this, there's no undoing it.
Why do we have to wait till summer? Why can't I watch it now? What if the world ends before then?
Why would they do this?
When the time is right, everything will become clear.
Whatever happens, don't you let go.
Come on, guys. Did you just watch that? That's insane. It pretty much was everything we just spoke about. Everything we just spoke. This is pretty much everything we just spoke about. I mean, disclosure. We started there. Actually, we started with lights in the sky. It could be a hologram. It could be AI. It could be a million different things. And then we go into gear. And then we go into Matt Gates. And it's just one after another. And the other guy, the Area 52 podcast with a CIA guy saying, oh, I got secrets. Everyone has these secrets that they're now coming out with. It's I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. And literally, that's the only words for it. Unbelievable. I might say this every podcast, but this is unbelievable. This is the world we're living in right now. I don't trust most of it. And I want to believe in it so bad at the same time. Man, I wish I could talk to Geronimo about this. Anyway, well, that's it for today, guys. That's the end of the podcast. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. This movie was Disclosure Day. I will definitely be going and seeing it. You guys should too. Hopefully we can tune in and live to see another week. Next week, we might have Geronimo on. We're going to try to record on Sunday, see how it goes. If not, we might do it Monday. I don't know. I like to do these a little bit more. I like to do them closer together to the time that I get to edit. But, you know, sometimes your boy gets busy, you know what I'm saying? So thank you again for tuning in. If you can, please like, subscribe. I say this all the time. I feel like a broken record. My sister called me the other day, and that's how I ended the phone call. And she got a laugh out of it. She understood because I gave her crap for not subscribing again. But please like, subscribe, share. I can't say it enough. It helps me out so much. Every time I see a new subscriber, I get so pumped. I think we're going to do a giveaway when we hit 200 subscribers, without a doubt. And we're going to start having swag pretty soon too. So yeah, that's it. Until next week, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night and see you next time.